So let's see. Taking a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna mute everyone, but Sarah, you will be able to unmute yourself. So I am so excited for this. I don't know if Sarah's ever been on one of my Zooms, but we've been on a lot of Zooms together, and this girl seriously is just an absolute rock star in all ways. And I know a lot of you guys are so close to promotions. So I wanted to get her on here and just kind of have her like spit some fire. So Sarah, if you just want to start by just telling us your story. I know a lot of my girls probably don't know it, so you can just go ahead and start with that.
Hey guys, so I'm Sarah. I'm a presidential diamond. I have been with It Works since March of 2014, so it was just over 6 years now. And when I got started, I was a grad student. I was getting my master's degree. I was planning my wedding. I was working 2 jobs, like a full-time job and then part-time on the weekends waiting tables. So I didn't have a lot of time, but I needed extra income. So we had $60,000 in student loan and credit card debt. And I was just really sick and tired of like planning my future with my future husband and saying all the things that I wanted in the life that I pictured for us. And him just saying, we're not going to be able to afford that. Like he was finishing up school to be a pilot, which they don't make very good money until they're like in their 40s. And in the meantime, they have to bounce around a lot. So it was just like signing up to be really, really unhappy. And I saw this girl posting on Facebook about how she was doing this from her phone. And I had known like about the industry in the past, parties, stuff like that. So seeing her do it on social media, I was like, well, what the heck? Like I'm on social media. I don't have time for another job, but like I'm already posting and I'm talking to people. So I might as well make money, even if I only have like an hour or two a day. So I got signed up. I'm from a super tiny farm town, you guys. I'm from the same town as Jade Hooper. We went to the same high school. We're a year apart, as well as like, I don't know, like 10 other diamond and above leaders from Jade's team. And when I got started, I was immediately met with just so much like hate. And it was totally something that I did not prepare myself for. Like I put up my first post right before I went into a shift at Buffalo Wild Wings. And by the time I got out, and it was a post saying, I'm so excited. I just started this business. I'm going to earn this bonus. It's going to do all these things for my life. And I can't wait to share it with you all. And I like got on a break at Buffalo Wild Wings and I looked, I was like, why do I have like 36 comments on this post? And I looked at it and it was everybody saying like scam, pyramid scheme, you're going to lose all your money. You're never going to make anything. Like I'm unfollowing you. I'm blocking you. I had like a text from my best friend who said, by the way, I saw your post. Don't ask me to buy from you because I want nothing to do with that. And yeah, so I was like, hey, I don't know if I'm like cut out for this. Like I like to like play it real tough, but I really care a lot about what people think of me. So I just was not prepared for that. So I thought about it over the weekend and it was really funny because I actually went to a couple of the girls and told that like a couple of my girlfriends not in the business. And I was like, I don't know if I'm really going to have time for this. I don't know if I can do this. I think I'm going to quit. They're like, yeah, totally. You should quit. Like they weren't in support of me being in the business, but they were totally supportive of me quitting the business. So I was like, okay, I got my to go quit. Let's do this. So I messaged my upline 3 days after getting started. And I was like, I can't do this. And she messaged Jade, who like walked her through the whole thing, who was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you can't do this? I said, I don't have time. She's like, well, you didn't have time when you came into this. So like, you already knew that was a thing. What do you mean you don't have time? If you don't have time for this, how are you going to make an extra $500 a month? I said, I don't know, pick up extra shifts. She's like, that doesn't make sense because you just said you don't have time for this, but you have time to pick up extra shifts. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm out. Like, I can't do this. And she said, look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, it is up to you what you want to do with this. But if you decide to quit and you watch me and other people from the same situation as you go on to do amazing things with this, go diamond and earn the bonus that you wanted to earn, how are you going to feel knowing that that could have been you if you had just stuck it out and given this everything that you had, but you quit instead? I was like, gosh, I'll feel like an idiot. So I decided to like stick with it, but it was still like just toe in the water. Like I was a little bit like gun shy after that first post. So I was like, I'm only reaching out to people who I know will say yes. So I like barely messaged anybody. I barely posted. I barely got my shopping spree, and it was from like bribing my friends and family with free wraps if they bought from me. And it was kind of like that for like a few months. And after I got that first paycheck, I was like, oh, okay, $11, cool. How do I make that be a little bit better? So I read the compensation plan, and that's where I learned about fast start bonuses. So I was like, well, dude, if I could get 3 distributors per month and like make sure that they get their customers, then I could at least be making $300 a month. Like I wanted that $10,000 bonus for going diamond in my first however many days that was available at the time. But when I looked at that diamond chart, I was like, no, nope, that's not Sarah. How would I even get 1 distributor, let alone however many I need to go diamond? So I just talked myself out of it. And I was like, there's no way that I can do that. So I was just enrolling distributors every month, fast starting them, and then moving on. And I like kept some under me. I moved some under my husband, who I enrolled as a distributor. And I was just like willy-nilly, like randomly signing a couple of distributors here and there, fast starting them. They weren't really doing anything. And I was making, like $300 a month. Well, then one day Jade came to me, and my enroller like basically disappeared after she talked me into not quitting. She pretty much disappeared. So then Jade came to me one day and she said, did you know that you're like really close to going Ruby? I said, no. So she put a Ruby chart in front of me with like some distributors on it, which was basically Matt and a bunch of people who weren't working. And then she showed me an Emerald chart, and she said, if you can like get 4 new distributors, then you're going to have a good full working Ruby chart. And it like just 4 all of a sudden made sense to me. Like, so, cause I looked at the diamond chart, that overwhelmed me. So then I looked at the Ruby chart. I was like, okay, yeah, 4 distributors, I can do that. So, and then she made me watch The Secret. I was 5 months into my business, and I had heard so many leaders say, watch The Secret, watch The Secret, watch The Secret. And I was like, personal development is lame. I don't need to develop. I don't need to grow. I'm going to be me as me. Like, I don't need any of that. So I wasn't doing personal development, wasn't plugging in, and I didn't watch The Secret. So Jade said, you need 4 distributors and you need to watch The Secret. I was like, fine. So I watched The Secret. I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard, but okay, let's just do this. So I just changed what I was speaking over my business. I stopped saying I suck at enrolling distributors. I stopped saying I suck at enrolling customers. I stopped saying everybody's saying no to me. I stopped saying everybody's ignoring me. I stopped saying I'm not getting any likes or comments on my posts. I stopped saying everybody I enrolled quits. And I said the opposite. I said, I'm a mass recruiter. I don't know what that means, but I'm a mass recruiter of distributors. I am an amazing leader. Everybody that I enroll wants this and is coachable and motivated and excited and is lucky to be on my team and have me as a mentor. And like just things along that line. And it was 2 weeks after I watched The Secret, and I kept believing these things and speaking these things over my business and over myself, and just like choosing joy. And then I was doing the work. Like I didn't just like wake up every day and like say some mantras and positive affirmations and hope that my business moved forward. Like I was doing the things. I was sending messages. I was talking to people about the business. I was posting like crazy about the business. And in the same weekend, 4 people came to me and said, I've been watching your posts and I really want to know more about what you do. They all signed up on the spot. They all got their shopping sprees on their own. And I went executive that month, Ruby the next month, Emerald 2 months after that, Diamond 2 months after that, and Triple Diamond 2 months after that, which was 6 months after I watched The Secret. So yeah, that's like my story, I guess. I don't know.
No, that's amazing. I don't know if you could see, but I started laughing when you said like talking about The Secret, because I don't know if you'll remember this, but it was my first ever Diamond and Above Zoom, and I was at work, and I wasn't muted, and Jade was like, everyone needs to watch The Secret. I was like, that's stupid. And she was like, oh yeah, is it? And I was like, oh my gosh, and I was so embarrassed because I was like, Jade just heard me say that. And I was the person that like on all these trainings, Jade was like, even Shay, but they were all just like, watch The Secret and you're gonna go Diamond. And I'm like, I don't need to watch no weird Netflix show for me to promote to Diamond. And I did. Like I didn't watch it and I went Diamond, and I was like, see, I don't need it. And then that's when like that red leader started coming out that wasn't really that good, and Shay was like, you need to watch The Secret. And I was like, okay. So I finally just bit my tongue and watched it. So I saw in the chat, I feel like I've probably never said that to my team, so I am so sorry. Watch The Secret. It's on Netflix. It looks like it would be like a Shakespeare type of thing. It looks weird, but I promise you guys, it's so good. Like, it is the best show, I guess, movie documentary thing. It's literally the best ever. So please go and watch that. But I was writing down some things that you had said about your story, and I just wanted to like ask about them. So how did you, I mean, I guess like you kind of talked about this, but I know like a lot of my girls, I know like when you first start, like you all kind of get that like negativity in a way. So like, how did you just really deal with that whenever you did decide to come back, quote unquote, and just kind of push it out of the way, really?
I mean, it was really a process, and I didn't fully get to that place where I was just like impervious to the negativity until I was probably 4 or 5 months in. So for the first 4 or 5 months, and if I had done personal development, that would have been faster. But like I was just trying to work through it on my own. And it was finally, I believe it was like Ashley Mirth just put this picture in our team page that just said like, I tried to I used to care what other people thought until I tried to pay my bills with their opinions or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's where we're going. So that it was just like this light bulb thing that I was like, why do I care? Why do I care? If they're not offering to pay my bills, why do they get a say in how I make money? If they're not lining up to like buy me a car, pay off my debt, why am I giving them a say? If I'm not going to trade bank accounts with them, why am I taking financial advice from them? So I just like had this light bulb moment where I was like, I can't care about that. And then I started kind of telling myself like valuing my business and realizing like I am doing something of service to people. So like people who have something negative to say about what I'm doing, they don't really have a leg to stand on, because what I'm doing is I'm helping people make an income. Yes, it's also making me an income at the same time, but it would be no different than like if I was a really good waitress and I got a bonus for helping other people be really, really good waitresses and waiters and stuff like that. So, but yeah, anyway, so I just realized that like the work that I was doing was of service, and like people post garbage, negative, complainy garbage all over social media all the time. So I was like, I'm posting things that are positive and happy and full of hope and inspiring people to want more out of their life. So why in the world would I quiet that when these people have nothing to say about all the people out there complaining all over? Like there are people every day complaining about their jobs, complaining about their health. I'm here talking about how excited I am about my job and my health. Like it goes both ways. So if you're going to complain about one, you got to complain about both. And at the end of the day, it's none of their business.
No, I love that so, so much. That was so good. I also liked how you did the analogy of like, it would be no different with like me getting a bonus from like waitressing, because that's so true. Like I've never thought about it like that, but that was super, super good. So I guess like kind of going on that, like, do you really feel like it was personal development that helped you just kind of like change your mindset about everything, and like just was it all that or what?
Yeah, I mean, just getting plugged in and hearing, and it was like it was personal development, but it was also professional development. So I was doing both. So I was and Jade is like that perfect like mixture of both all wrapped into one. So I just like Jade was putting out like a new YouTube video on her channel every single day. So pretty much just every day I was just getting on her YouTube and watching whatever video she put out that day. And it usually was like how to get loyal customers wrapped up in your mindset around getting loyal customers, and like your mindset about this business in general, making good posts, and like your mindset about posting. So really it was just Jade videos for the longest time, and then The Secret. And then like I started plugging into the Show Me the Money calls on Monday nights. And that was really a big thing too, was listening to people who were where I wanted to get to, sharing their stories. Because when I got to hear where they were before this business and what their life looked like, I was like, oh my gosh, they're not unicorns. They're like literally just like me, or like different parts of their story. I was like, that's exactly like me. So if they can get there, maybe I can get there too. And yeah, my first conference was definitely a game changer. Hearing all of these people just share their stories and what they overcame to get to where they were, it just filled me with so much hope that I wasn't crazy to think that I was meant for big things here, or that I was capable. of doing big things here. And that all it was going to take was me being willing to, number one, have the faith that I could get there, like have the belief that I could get there, make the decision that I was going to get there, and then put in the work, being willing to just do the work, whatever it took. I remember too, I think it was like Denise Walsh who said like she promoted one time every year. So it took her 8 years to go ambassador. But I was like, gosh, like there's no way in my life at any job I could ever make $30,000 per month. So like, even if it takes me 8 years to go ambassador, like I'm here for it. And that was kind of my decision too, where once I committed and I was like, look, however long it takes me to get to where I want to be, obviously I'm going to work on making it happen as fast as I possibly can, but like, I'm here for it. I'm committed. And once I made that switch too, once like quitting, I took it off the table, all of a sudden my entire perspective on my business shifted. And anytime I came up against an obstacle, it was just an obstacle. It wasn't a brick wall. It was an obstacle. It was just something I had to work through and overcome and grow past. It was just a glass ceiling or, a mountain that I had to climb or something. And then you just get to the next mountain. But yeah, taking quitting off the table and like, even when I'm looking at goals, like I couldn't give up when I decided I was going to go, let's see, it was, so 2 months after I went Ruby, I was working on going Emerald, and they brought back the bonus that I had missed for going Diamond in your first however many days. Cause they do that, you guys, they're awesome. So they brought back this bonus and I was like, oh my gosh, if I go Diamond this month, I'm going to get that bonus that I joined in the first place to earn. So I was like, all right, well, let's do this. We're going Diamond this month. And I decided that I was going to do that. And I worked all month long up until midnight at the end of that month. And you know what? I did not go Diamond, but I did go Emerald. And it's because I set my sights on something bigger and I worked relentlessly towards it. And I defended my thesis that month. Like it was November, like we had holidays. So I was spending a lot of time with family, but I knew that I was going to do my best. I was going to show up every day, give it everything that I had. And even when it was the 25th, I was like, I mean, there's probably no way that I'm going to go Diamond this month, but like, I'm sure going to try. And I just kept going, and I was enrolling distributors and filling my Diamond chart and teaching them how to get their shopping sprees. And I was helping other people on my team promote. So I just ended up going Emerald. Well, then the next month they brought back that bonus again. So I was like, all right, this is the month. This is the month I'm going Diamond. We're doing it. Like it's in the bag. And I got my Diamond chart full. I was like enrolling like 2 or 3 distributors on the first day of the month. I had my chart out. My team had their charts. Like we were all working towards this. And by the end of the month, I was not Diamond, but I maintained Emerald. I gave myself a raise. I earned a lot of fast start bonuses. So then the next month I woke up, it was January, and I said, okay, it was my 10th month in the business. I said, all right, they brought back the bonus again. This is crazy. I'm doing it this month. Like for real, this is it. And it wasn't that I was like slacking, because I know that there are people out there, and I've been that person before, where like you start like 3 days into the month, you're like, yes, I'm doing this. And then like day 4 hits or like day 10 hits, and you kind of lose your stamina, you lose your putt and you stop working. Like, no, I was very consistent all month long working towards that goal. I just didn't quite hit it. Like some people quit, having to like, okay, well this Ruby quit, so now we have to build a whole new Ruby here. Like just different things like that. But I didn't let it discourage me. I didn't let it count me out. It was just like, whatever, like it either happens this month or it doesn't. And if it doesn't happen this month, it happens a different month. We do it next month. So that was just always kind of my mindset. But I was like, but we're making it happen this month. But then it didn't. And it was okay, because I knew we did everything that we could, and we were going to wake up the next month and do it again. So January hit, and I was like, this is the month. I'm going Diamond. We're doing it. They brought back the bonus. And then conference happened, and I went to conference, and that was my first conference. And like, I was absolutely mind blown. You guys, if you haven't been to a conference yet, start saving now so that you can make sure that you get to the one next year. Pray to God coronavirus is over by then so we can have it. But it will change you. Being in a room full of, I don't even know, I'm a terrible estimator, I don't know, 10,000 people who dream like you dream and who believe that they're meant for more. And it made you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Everybody from my hometown who told me that I'm crazy for believing that I can do something big here, I'm now in a room full of people who believe the exact same thing as me. So it just empowered me so much and just like filled me up so much. And I caught the vision and I just decided this is where I'm meant to be. This is it. Like I'm here. I'm good. I'm good. Well, then they decided to double the bonuses that month. So that $10,000 bonus that I had been chasing since the day that I joined, that I hadn't earned, I had been close to for 3 months in a row. And I was finally like lined up to earn it because I continued working, because I just continued moving forward and just trusting like it'll happen when it happens, but like I'm going to try to make it happen as fast as possible. And I was like, I'm being rewarded for like my consistency and my persistence and all of that. Now this bonus that I was chasing is now, instead of a $10,000 bonus, a $20,000 bonus. And they extended them for a few months. And I had Matt like one promotion behind me. So I was like, okay, I'm like doing the math. I'm like, so I'm going to earn a $20,000 bonus this month. And then we have 2 more months to continue promoting. So then I could go double diamond. And there was like a $25,000 bonus for going double diamond. And I was like, and then I can get Matt to diamond and he can get the $20,000 bonus, or it was 30 for going double diamond. So I was like doing that math. And then, I mean, what ended up happening was Jade put a triple diamond chart in front of me and said, you know, you're just going to go triple. We're just going to do that. And like, I had never done that before. And I was looking at a number of distributors that I needed in a crazy amount of volume that like I couldn't even wrap my brain around. And I was just like, yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. And I just knew like, what's the worst case scenario? I go for it and what? I fall short and I do it the next month. Like, who cares? At the end of it, I'm still going to be making money that like my brain cannot even comprehend, and all of these bonuses. So like, I don't remember what I initially was talking about here, but it was just like, it was just this decision to just continue moving forward. And I don't remember at all what I was trying to talk about there.
No, that was literally so good. I was loving every little bit of that. I had so many questions I was writing down from that. So, I just have so many different things. I guess the first thing I want to ask is, I know you've always made like higher average checks, insert income disclosure, whatever. But like what are some tips that you could give us on like maximizing the comp plan? And like, I know these are things that we've all heard before, but just like, what are your biggest tips for that?
Get really, really good at enrolling distributors. Like that's the easiest way to make the most money here, is get really, really good at getting distributors. And then once you get really, really good at getting distributors, get really, really good at teaching them how to get their first customers and how to get their shopping sprees. Because if you can do that, like those fast start bonuses are crazy. And I don't know what everybody here is promoting to, but like your goal needs to be get to diamond as fast as possible. Get to diamond as fast as possible. Because when you get to diamond, that's when you truly unlock the entire compensation plan. Because more than fast start bonuses, there's like additional bonuses after you go diamond, when you help new people get started. And then when you help those people help people get started, and so on. And when you go diamond, and then you help people go diamond after you. So really like my goal, it was really funny because when I first started and I was afraid of charts and intimidated by them, and like I wanted to make fast starts because that was like easy money in my brain. So I got good at enrolling distributors. Now that was like 5 to 6 per month was my goal every single month, but I did it. I did that. And like, I have a tracker. So if you guys don't have a tracker for your new distributors, I sign my new distributors. I just have this piece of paper. It used to just be a notebook sheet. It's in like a notebook here I have somewhere from like when I started doing this, but I just write down their name, when they enrolled, and I know I have 1 month from that date to get them their customers. And then I have a tally for how many customers that they have. And then like I'm keeping track of their personal bonus volume to make sure that they get over 150. So I just got good at enrolling distributors, making sure that every single distributor I enrolled was getting their shopping spree either on their own or with me helping them, like by enrolling customers under them. And then after I went diamond, I like really went all in with that, because I was like, it was the night I was promoting to diamond that Jade sat me down and she's like, okay, you're going triple. And she laid out my triple chart in front of me. And she said, so you're going diamond. Like, are you excited about this and these extra bonuses that you get? I was like, extra bonuses? What are you talking about? Like, I never read that far into the compensation plan. It got like long paragraphs and I couldn't handle it. So, so she ended up like breaking it down for me just really, really simply. Basically, on top of the $150 in fast start bonuses that you earn off of somebody getting their shopping spree, you get an additional $80 on top of that when you go diamond. And then when those people get distributors who get their first customers, you get $80 off of that person getting their first customers. So it's like residual fast start bonuses. So I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm really going to town and getting as many distributors as I can. So it was the month after I went diamond. Jade's like, enroll 30. I was like, well, okay, my best month is like 5, but sure, yeah, let's do 30. And I set my intentions on 30. I wrote down the numbers 1 through 30 on a piece of paper. I was like, God, bring me the people. Bring me the people. Let's do this. I'm ready. And I just got very intentional about like messaging and talking to people about the business and like writing down everybody that I talked to and continuing the conversation going and like lovingly pushing people to just like get over their fears. And guys, we didn't have a PDT page when I started. We didn't have a VIP lounge. We didn't have pre-selling Zooms. Like we didn't have anything like that. So it was just like me having the conversation with them saying like, dude, you've got this. You got this. Let's do it. Come on. Let's sign up. You're ready. Come on. You got this. Let's do it. So when I decided like 30 distributors in 30 days, I didn't enroll 30. I enrolled 13 though, which was almost 3 times my best month up until that point. And it didn't scare me. Like looking at that 30 and 30, when Jade challenged me, she challenged other people too. And there was a lot of people who were like, I've never enrolled that many before. I'm not a mass recruiter. You know, I don't see how that would happen for me. And I was still reeling hot from The Secret. And I was like, nope, I got this. Because like, why not? Why not? Why not just decide that I'm going to do it? And it's a crazy number in my mind, but like, why not just make the decision and work towards it? Worst case scenario, I fall short, but I know I will still fall a whole lot higher than I would have if I hadn't set a goal that big. So I decided 30 and 30. I enrolled 13. Okay. The next month I was like, all right, let's do it again. 30 and 30. I enrolled 18. But within a couple of months, because of that momentum that I had built up talking to so many people trying to enroll 30 distributors, it was like 3 months later that I enrolled 42 distributors in 1 month. And at the beginning of that month, I had said, I'm enrolling 30 distributors. And it was halfway through the month. And Matt, like, bless his heart, was like, how many distributors have you enrolled? And I was like 4. I don't know, whatever. He's like, I thought you were enrolling 30. It's like, yeah, we're only halfway through the month. I'm enrolling 30. Well, I enrolled 42 by the end of the month because I was like, all right, we got to kick this up a notch. Like, we got to make this work. So I enrolled 42. And then I was a top distributor enroller for the next 2 years, every single month in the company, a top 5 distributor enroller every month. Because like, that was just my mindset. That was my intention. I was still enrolling customers. Like I was enrolling probably 8 to 10 customers per month still, but I was enrolling, 20 or more distributors every single month consistently. And that is how, like, as a diamond and above leader, I was a triple diamond, which like the higher in rank you go, the more levels of these extra like residual fast start bonuses you unlock. So yeah, I was making like presidential diamond income and I was a top 150 income earner as a triple diamond because of all of that. So number 1, go diamond as fast as you can. Number 2, get really, really good at enrolling distributors and making sure that you get them fast start qualified.
No, I love that. And like these bonuses are like completely crazy to me, you guys. And the one thing I wanted to say, with her talking about this, like this last month, I was paid as double and I saw a 5-figure paycheck as a double diamond, and over half of my paycheck was caps, which are these residual fast start bonuses. And I was blown away. I was like, I am one of those unicorns that people talk about and it's me. Like I was so happy, but it's because of these bonuses, you guys, or these I can't say that word, because the fast start bonus is basically in caps, and like it's just completely crazy. And like there has not been a month since January of 2018 that I have not enrolled at least 15 distributors a month. And like it's just because like I knew that fast starts were going to pay my bills, basically, is how my brain was. At that time, I was an executive, I think. And it was just DT. And that's just the momentum that I was riding on. And that's what's gotten us to this point, is because, it's crazy. And then obviously now, at that time, like we didn't have like half off signups, $20 signups. Like that happened like midway through the year. And so now it's even easier because we do have these lesser deals. I don't know how to say that. My brain's not working. Y'all know what I'm saying. The half off to join and everything, but like you don't need that to sign all these DTs. And I mean, Sarah right there is another witness basically to say that you don't have to have the $99 kits. Yeah, or you don't have to have the like discounted kits. There you go. That was the right word I was looking for. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to ask is obviously you've been in this for a little bit. I've only been in this for 2.5 years. So I have seen the highs and the lows, but I know you've been in this for a little bit longer. And I just kind of wanted you to touch on like the momentum that we have right now, because I don't think people understand like what it really is. And I feel like I don't even half the time, but just like kind of like talk about the momentum that we're in right now.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even know exactly where momentum comes from, but I feel like what we're experiencing right now is just the perfect storm of like timings of different things coming together to where like it's this tidal wave of just everybody moving forward, and it's created this momentum. So like, I mean, the host to host trainings, the fact that like it's a culture within our company now doing these host to posts, and just how simple it is, and like the numbers that people are pulling in for customers is awesome. And then I mean, just like the bonuses, and then they keep doing these different deals that are just like perfectly timed, I feel like, which is super exciting. But yeah, when I started this business, I think we were like kind of coming to, I don't know if we were like coming to the tail end of momentum or if it was just kind of like the middle of it. But like that was the month that I joined. Jade went diamond like the day that I joined, and she got her husband a diamond, and then she went double the next month and got her husband a double the next month, and then she went triple a few months after that, and then presidential a few months after that, and she went ambassador the same month that I went triple. And like the time that she went ambassador, it was like I don't know, like 30 other people went ambassador around that time or something, which had just never happened. I think the company had like 4 ambassadors up to that point, and then all of a sudden 30 ambassadors happened all at once, which for an ambassador to happen, that means there's like hundreds of people promoting all at the same time. And I mean, after, like it was that whole next year after that, that it was just continuing, that people were just continuing to move forward and promote, and there was exciting stuff happening. And then that following like boom season, which is typically January through March, there was a lot more ambassadors that happened, and like tons more promotions and stuff like that. And like that was probably still, even like after I went presidential, still that triple diamond paycheck, I don't know, in 2016 was like my highest paycheck I've ever gotten with this company. And it was like insane. And then like, yeah, we keep getting little pops and like good things happening and exciting. And, yeah, it just feels like everything is coming together now. So, I mean, you're going to see people promoting like crazy. You're going to see teams exploding. And it's like people making huge incomes and paying off their debt and buying houses and all this really, really exciting stuff. But the thing about momentum is you've got to choose to ride that wave. You know, you've got to choose to be a part of that, because there are plenty of people who watched momentum happen and they weren't a part of it because they counted themselves out, or they had these limiting beliefs, or they just weren't like doing the work that they needed to do. And they watched it happen for other people, and they had their excuses and things like that. And then momentum, you know, once it's not really ever gone. Like, it just isn't like it was. And then they're sitting there going, shoot, I missed it. You do not want to be there. You don't want to be that person who misses momentum. So you just have to kind of see like the crazy promotions that are happening and understand, okay, like it's the perfect storm and I'm not missing this. I'm riding this wave. I'm jumping in. Like, this is the time where you say no to the things that you can, so that you can say yes to just absolutely amazing things down the road. And it's going to be 100% worth it. So like, set your goals big. Set your goals big right now. Like, if you're not diamond yet, set your goal to go diamond in the next 30 to 60 days. And then like when I was kind of, we talked about momentum and me saying like that you don't want to watch it happen, or that you could watch it happen for other people and it not happen for you, depending on the work that you're doing. And that did happen when I first started. And my first 5 months where I was like toe in the water, enrolling 2-3 distributors here and there were people who were popping diamond in 30, 60, 90 days and earning these bonuses that I didn't get to earn. And it's just because they got in and they decided they were going to. They, while I counted myself out, they were counting themselves in, because nobody can disqualify you from your goals except for yourself. So, and like your business will always reflect like what you believe in yourself and what you believe that you're capable of. So for me, those first couple of months that I only was enrolling 2-3 distributors, it's because that's all I believed I was capable of. That's all I believed I was worthy of. That's all I believed that I was, that I could lead or train or whatever. Like, I just didn't have a mindset. I saw Jade's team page and I was like, Jade has 1,000 people on her team. That's crazy. I could never lead a team of 1,000 people. And now I am. But like, I just like got it in my own head that I couldn't do that and that I wasn't capable of that. It's not like you just snap your fingers and wake up the next day and you're like, boom, team of 1,000 people. That was awesome. That's not how it happens. But, so I just didn't believe myself capable of it, because the only thing that changed from me enrolling 3 distributors a month to 13 distributors a month to 42 distributors a month was my belief that I could do that, my decision that I was going to do it. So yeah, I did 3 to 5 distributors a month until one day I woke up and I was like, what if I do 30? Let's do that. Let's enroll 30. No, I didn't enroll 30, but I enrolled 3 times as many as I ever had on my best month before that. And then it just like instilled this bigger belief in me where I was like, I can do this every month. If I can enroll 30 distributors every month, like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to be making great money. I'm going to be promoting. I'm going to be helping people on my team promoting. So like you have to believe crazy things that like, there's not necessarily like a reason why you should believe that you're capable of those things that like make you laugh out loud when you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to enroll 30 distributors in a month. Like, yeah, let's do that. But then after you write it down and you like laugh about it for a minute, you're like, okay, no. Like, you get this like this resolution within yourself that you're like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do it. And I don't know what it's going to look like. And I don't know where these people are going to come from, but I'm going to do it.
No, I love that. That was such a good answer. Like that, like I can't even talk. But exactly, you guys, like, I don't know, it's so crazy. I know a lot of you guys are seriously so close to these promotions. Do not count yourself out. Like, I know just because of like the leadership that we have on this team all the way up until Jade, you guys have the tools. Like, you guys know what to do. You have the resources, the trainings, post scripts, all the different things. You just have to use them. And like, I am just going to shout out Lexi for a second. Like, I know she's been like going through a lot of stuff, but like, she has been working, you guys. Homegirl's at like 30 customers, I think. And like, Lexi, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but she's been rolling a ton of distributors. And I was just like, what changed? And she was just like, I just started working. And she was like, I was enrolling 5 customers a month. And she was like, and I just started doing it. And like, I mean, she's just mass enrolling customers right now. And literally all it took was her just whoop, and just started. Like, she just started. And that was just like the biggest thing to just see that like on my team was like, yes, like, I promise I'm not crazy. Like, if you just do the things, like, oh my Lanta. And it was crazy because I mean, just for myself, like I kind of want to talk more about like the momentum that we're in right now, but like my volume was 12,000 in December, you guys. 12,000. That's barely diamond, and we're projected to hit 85,000 GV 5 months later. 6 months, 5, I don't know. Y'all can do math. I'm bad at it. But it's like literally that is the momentum we're in. But I could have easily said, because the mindset that I was in November, I could have easily said, how about that? I'm out of here. But I was like, I know we can do this. Like, I know the team I have. I know we went triple diamond. I don't even know how much GV we enrolled, but I was like, I know we can do this. And like, it was just that belief in myself. And it was just doing the personal development to like prove to myself that like I can. And then like, we're doing it, and like we did it, and we have done it. Like, it's just crazy to see, like, it really is the simplest switch. And like, if y'all know me, I overthink everything. And like, this was just something you cannot overthink. Like, it is the simplest switch in your mindset just to simply say, I can do this. I'm going to do this. And it's on I have it somewhere. I think it's on my background, but it says I will, watch me. And it was just like, it's just that right there. And it's just like preaching it and just doing all of those things. So whew, that was a lot. But kind of going off of that, I know, like I said, we have a bunch of girls that are super, super close to promotions, and I don't want to keep you too long because I know you have other Zooms and stuff tonight, but what would you give some tips for kind of enrolling, and then off of that as well, like to not be scared about the volume that you have or that you need to get to hit your promotion?
So, number one, you have to have your chart, and then and it always needs to be up to date. So you always need to have that number in front of you. How many distributors do you need and how much volume do you need? And then I always have the next chart after that. So that way I know, like, okay, I'm still enrolling distributors. Like, I don't want to promote with the bare minimum. I want to have people who are 400 boxes for me to go Emerald charted for Ruby. Because if you have 3-4 people contributing volume to a 400 box, like, there's going to be a lot more volume there, and that's just going to help make your promotion easier. So the more distributors you have under you working towards their shopping spree, working towards their own promotions, the better. So have your chart out, and then have the chart out beyond that, and just always be recruiting and be teaching that to your team as well. You know, as soon as a new distributor gets their shopping spree, I don't care if they're just a 400 box on somebody's chart, they're getting a Ruby chart now, and they're working on going Ruby, and we're just instilling that in them right away. People are working towards promotions. And then, yeah, don't be intimidated by the chart. Choose to be empowered by it, because your chart is not, it's not a race. It is a roadmap. And that's it. It is just saying, when you get customers, place them here. When you get distributors, place them here. Every single chart looks scary when you look at it the first time. Every single goal looks scary when you look at it the first time. When you join this business and somebody told you that you had to get 6 customers to get your shopping spree, were you like, how the heck am I going to get 6 dang customers? I've never even gotten one. How am I going to do that? Like, that's how it is. It always looks scary. And then you do it and you're like, okay, what's next? I need to go Ruby. I need 3 distributors. How the heck am I going to get 3 distributors? And then you do that and you're like, and now I need all this stuff. How the heck am I going to do that? And it's just like that. And every time you take out a chart for the next promotion, it looks scary, and it looks like it scares you just as much as that first goal did. So you have to stop looking at it as this scary thing where you're going, how am I going to do this? Like, you just know where you're going. You decide that you're going to get there. You link arms with the people on your team who are working, and you give them something that they're going to work towards, and you just all run towards your goals together, and it just happens. And you wake up at the last day of the month, and you're like, how did that happen? Like, at one point you were asking, how is it going to happen? And then it does. And then you're like, I don't know how it happened. It happened. I don't know how it happened. We just worked hard. We did the things that everybody's been telling us to do all along. We did them consistently every single day, and it just happened.
That was like the perfect answer. I just made the challenge. Like, I have butterflies, because I remember, like, my presidential chart is like on my wall, and I remember the first time I went to Staples to get it like laminated, because I have like a big one, and I looked at it and I was like, oh God. I was like, wow. And now, like, this chart's just been filled, and it's just been like popping new diamonds, popping new rubies, and it's crazy because, like, I look at it and I have like sticky notes, because even to this day, this still kind of stresses me out, but I have like sticky notes over the promotions that are done, and I'm just like, we got it. It's good. And it's just like, I know, like, even just like breaking it down, like, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like 19 rubies, I think, like, off the top of my head. And like 19 rubies is so easy, like, because that's how I can look at it. And it's just like, that's crazy. And like, I know, I can't remember who I was talking to. I want to say it was Lexi, but she's pushing for diamond this month. And she was like, looking at these ruby charts, or looking at this diamond chart is crazy, because like, Ruby is so easy now. And she was like, and it was just like that, it was just that change in my head. And I was like, exactly, like, it's just that simple change of like, this is so simple. And like, all of you guys know how to do it. It's like literally just your mindset. Like, each one of you guys know how to enroll the distributors and enroll the customers, and I'm pretty positive each of you guys have enrolled one of each. So like there is nothing in you that's not on the inside of Sarah or I. And like if she can go presidential, I promise you, you can hit your promotion. And I'm just so excited. Like I know exactly, like Spencer just said in the chat, every chart looks hard until you do it. Like literally, like I remember looking at my triple chart and I was like, there ain't no way in heck I am doing that. And I have it printed out on my desk because I look at it every day and I'm like, we did that. It's just that like change of mindset, literally. But this was seriously so freaking amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it so much. And if anyone has any last minute questions, please throw them in the chat. I know she has another training here coming up soon, so I don't want to keep her too long. But yeah, I just appreciate you so much for hopping on and just pouring some life into us because it was so, so good. I loved this so much.
I'm glad because like after 8, it's like Russian roulette of whether or not my mom brain is going to be fully functioning. So
You're totally fine. But yeah, I appreciate this so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop